Hey y'all, so this morning I got up and my 4-year-old, who will be 5 in May, was already awake. I swore I heard him, so I woke up and it was about maybe 7 o'clock this morning. He is in his playroom cleaning it up all by himself. And so when I go in there, I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm cleaning my playroom. I just wanted to make you guys happy this morning. I'm like, are you serious? So I'm just like, oh my gosh, good job. You know, you're doing great. Was it a lot of toys on the floor? And he was like, no, it wasn't that many, but I just wanted to make you guys happy and clean it up without you telling me. I'm just like, okay, Lord, your prayers is working. Then I was like, okay, well, you have science class today, so I'm gonna go pick out your clothes and I want you to come in your room and get dressed when you're done. Mind you, this boy cries every single time I tell him to do anything. If it's get dressed, if it's come on, let's take a bath, if it's I gotta do your hair, if it's time for dinner, if it's unless it's time to play, he's gonna make a little fuss about it. He hates transitioning. But this morning, as he's cleaning his room, mind you, at 7 a.m. this morning, the first thing he does is clean his room. He's not playing for toys, asking for snacks. He's cleaning his room. And so I was like, okay, well, we're gonna get dressed after this. And he's like, okay. So I'm like, So I pick out his clothes. He comes back in the room and he's like, starts making up his bed. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm making up my bed. I'm like, making up your bed? Like, I ain't never require him to make up his bed. That's something I plan on doing eventually, but he's 4. So I was like, I was never pressed about it. But he decided all by himself that he was going to make up his bed. So I let him. He made it up to the best of his ability. And then he starts getting dressed. And I'm just like, who is you? Like, I keep asking him all morning, who are you? He's like, it's me. I'm Amaziah. I'm the same as I was when I was little. But I'm just big now. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, is this what it's like? And it's funny because a couple weeks ago, not even a couple weeks, like earlier this week, because today's Friday. So about Monday or Tuesday, I swear he woke up and looked bigger. I swear he did. I swear he woke up. His face seemed more mature. He seemed a bit taller. Like, everything about him just seemed different. His whole demeanor. And it's like manifesting more and more as the days go on. Like, he's maturing. He's growing up. And I'm just like, I wasn't ready. Like, I wasn't ready for this. That's my preschooler. Granted, he's homeschooled, but that's my preschooler. Like, why is he making up his own bed? Why is he cleaning his room? Why is he brushing his teeth? After he got dressed, he brushed his own teeth. And he did such a good job that I didn't even have to go behind him. Like, I checked his tongue, there was no white residue. I checked his teeth, there was no, any signs of it being unclean. It smelled great. And I'm just like, yo, who are you? Like, he just woke up a totally different person. And it's like, I don't know, like, I feel so blessed to witness it. And that's what I mean when I say I'm so grateful for homeschool. Because, like, if I wasn't with him all day, every day, I wouldn't notice the subtle changes. I wouldn't notice the subtle differences in his demeanor or maybe the way he pronounces things, at least not as quickly. I probably would notice after a while when it becomes more drastic. But like those subtle little things, like the fact that he woke up this morning and decided all by himself to clean his playroom. Had he had to go to school this morning, I'm not sure if he would have did that, because we would have been already up way before 7. He already would have been getting dressed. I probably would have had to rush him out the door. But it's like, I just get to watch both of my children evolve, change, get more mature, learn things. I'm there to interpret the world for them. I'm there to answer any questions they may have about their experiences. I'm there to process their emotions. And it's just a blessing. It's just such a blessing. And I'm just so grateful. Even though it's hard, even though some days I'm like, what did I get myself into? Am I doing the right thing? Should he be in school? Like, it's moments like that that just reinforce the fact that no, this is what this is at least what our family has been called to do. And like, my husband had a long talk with him last night, which I really think contributed to his overnight growth, because he just decided to ask about God. He just asked about God. He was asking a bunch of questions about God and how he didn't understand how God was so big, that he's everywhere all the time. He just couldn't fathom that. And he was just saying, like, I hope I get to see God one day. I want to see what he's like. And just all these things, like these things that I'm not sure what happened if he was in homeschool. Like, we wouldn't have the time to sit with him for an hour after we read books during bedtime to just answer his questions about God. I don't even know if he would have the heart to ask us, because I mean, the only reason he knows about God as much as he does is because we incorporate devotional into our homeschool routine, which he wouldn't get from a public school setting. And so I'm just like, I don't know, I'm spending a lot of time today just reflecting on that. He's in his science class right now, and my youngest, Khalil, he's with his dad, so I'm just in the car by myself, and of course I'm thinking about the kids, because that's what I do. That's all I do. Even on my alone time, I'm looking at pictures of my kids. But yeah, I'm just reflecting on the blessing of it all, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm just so almost enamored or in awe about the whole situation, because when I quit my job and I decided to homeschool, I didn't really know what I was doing. It was completely spirit-led. It was not necessarily my own understanding that I went by. I didn't think it through much. It was just like God kept telling me for weeks and weeks and weeks, okay, this is the end. Like, this is your last year here in this public school setting. This is your last year working outside of the home. And yeah, you're gonna minister to your children. I got some words I need you to speak to them. I got some things I need you to do in this time that I give you. And I've just been trying to walk it out day by day, just to see, what it is that he's calling me to do. And I didn't expect to see fruit so soon. I'll be honest, I did not expect to see fruit so soon. But yeah, I see it, and I'm grateful. And to anybody who is, I'm not sure why most people decide to homeschool. I know for me, it was completely spirit-led. To this day, I don't know exactly why God called me to do that. I haven't learned that yet. It's only been a little over a year since I pulled him from a daycare setting, and instead of enrolling him in an actual preschool, he was enrolled in a daycare's accredited preschool program at the time, and I pulled him from that, and he's just been home. And like I said, I don't know the exact reason. I know the world is crazy. I know that the school system he would have been a part of, which is ironically enough, it's like the pieces are starting to come together. Ironically enough, the school system he would have been a part of is actually downsizing. They're going to close down 10 of their schools starting next school year, which means that majority of students will be relocated into other schools, kind of piled on together. So the school population in each individual school is going to go up. Because the actual enrollment is going down, so they're closing down a bunch of schools. So I mean, like I said, things are coming together. The puzzle pieces are starting to come together as to why God may have been calling me out of the schools or calling my family out of the school system. Like I said, with the schools closing, just with the craziness in the world in general, and the lack of I'm not going to say teachers aren't qualified, because they definitely are. They definitely have the education. It's just the lack of, I would say, administrative support that the teachers receive, which causes burnout, which causes a neglect in certain behaviors from certain students, which causes those who are not necessarily behaving in an inappropriate way, they kind of get left out in the back burner. They're not the problem kids, so they don't get the amount of attention that I think that they all deserve as individual learners. And so it's a lot of reasons why he's pulled out. I'm not really set on one particular reason, other than the fact that God really did call me out of the schools. And like I said, I haven't seen any fruit of it yet, but this morning was definitely a light at the end of the tunnel situation. I'm still gleaming with pride and from his response of why he decided to do those things. And I'm just happy, I'm just grateful, and I love being a homeschool mom. So yeah, that's my little rant for this morning. I just wanted to come on here and say that we have a couple more errands to run today. I'm going to be going to Virginia to run a couple errands, pick up a couple things. I have to get my phone fixed. I broke my front screen. Luckily I have this Z Fold, so I can open it up and still use the phone, but my front screen is totally broke, blacked out. So we're gonna go get that fixed as well. And then Amaziah has t-ball practice at 5:30. So yeah, we're gonna spend majority of our day today in Virginia. After I pick him up from his science class today, we're gonna go back home for a few, pick up Dad, and then head on to Virginia. So yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next part.